So Ben, it was a disappointing 2-0 defeat today to Yeovil. What did you make of the game?
Obviously, the red cards changed the game and given them the initiative. But I honestly felt even against 11 men, we were pretty comfortable in our shape. We didn't really give much up. Obviously, the first goal it's someone either not tracking their runner or someone not covering round. This is something we'll obviously see back, but that can't happen. That's just the basics, and that's disappointing, to be honest with you. The second goal, I don't really remember much about it. Again, another poor goal to concede. It's horrible, isn't it? Because apart from that, what have they done to really threaten us? Apart from maybe a few corners early on in the game. So obviously disappointed.
You mentioned it there, it's the basics, isn't it, where you might not have tracked a runner, or again the second goal we're chasing the game. It felt like a game where we completely dominated possession but couldn't quite carve out that clear-cut chance to trouble the Grant Smith in the Yeovil goal.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I mean, the first half, probably we looked a threat from the throw, and in the second half we didn't look as much of a threat. Again, the game feels different to how it looks. Like you say, we dominated. It didn't feel like we didn't dominate, but it didn't feel like we were being dominated. It just felt like a bit of an even game, really. It's just a frustrating one to lose. That's the second time we've gone down to 10 men. We've played well with 10 men, and we've come away with nothing. So yeah.
It shows resilience to the side. I suppose you saw on Saturday with Bromley, they went down to 10 men very early on and they almost just completely unravelled from there. Had a different formation, but they then couldn't capitalise or move the game before. But for us, it didn't seem like it halted anything and just continued to play the same way that we did when we had 11 men on the pitch. Yeah.
Obviously, we probably looked a little bit less like cutting them open with 10 men. But like you say, Bromley, they kind of not capitulated, but we could have had 5 goals. They didn't look like scoring 5 goals tonight. Saying that, like I said before, the basics have got to be better, and we have to be disappointed with the goals we've conceded.
Now both teams came into tonight's game in good form, both unbeaten in 6 with the same record of 1-4, drawn 2. Tonight we've lost our unbeaten record at home. How disappointed are you with that?
Yeah, it's disappointed, but listen, we're going to get disappointments. We're going to have knockbacks all season. It's how you deal with a knockback, and the thing is as well, when you win a game, it's all about the next game. And if you win a game and go and lose a game, the previous win becomes not as big, if that makes sense. So yeah, we're going to get knockbacks, and listen, at the end of the day, the sun will come up tomorrow morning, and we just got to get on with it.
What do you think the difference is between playing at home and playing away from home? Away from home, we've had some stunning free-scoring games against Aldershot and Kings Lynn. Now, again, it can come down to maybe who your opposition are and how you play on the day, but at home we've only scored twice at home as the maximum goals in a game. What do you think the difference is between the two?
I think you can probably overthink it, to be honest with you. I think you can overthink it. It's like I said, we could have had 5 goals on Saturday if the things fell right for us. There's been games where we haven't put them to bed when we've been 1-0 up. We've had the chances to first half, especially early on in the season against teams of like Woking and I think Dagenham. That's just not being probably ruthless enough. Away from home, the initiative kind of becomes more on them. They're the home side. Away from home, they come here. We've got a nice pitch. We get a lot of fans and all that really. It's so yeah. Teams are going to come here. It's kind of like their big away game, which is not being arrogant, but that's just the way that people say it and see it. So it's one of them where teams kind of up their game when they come here.
I suppose just to touch on the key incident in the game, Liam's red card. What was your view of it at the time? If you'd had a chance to see it back, and what are your thoughts on it?
To be honest, in the game, I was going mad at him for challenging for it because he'd lost the header, so it was pointless kind of going for it. It was never a red card. I mean, I don't even want to start on the refs. I cannot get over how arrogant the refs are or have been in this league on a whole. It's absolutely ridiculous. You can't talk to them. They're like school teachers. It's like they're just shouting at you. It's embarrassing. So sorry, rant over. It's never a red card. It's obviously disappointing, but at the end of the day, you've got to get on with it. We're going to have bad decisions. We're going to have bad results. You've just got to get on with it. That's all you've got to do.
Now, just throwing it forward to Saturday's game against Dover, the bottom of the table, they have struggled of recent and throughout the season. What's the preparation like in the rest of the week, and how do you go into Saturday's game to make sure you put in a performance?
Same as you do every game. You can't devalue any team. You can't devalue any game of football. You have to treat every game with respect. So we'll be going there. We'll fully respect them. By all accounts, it's a tough place to go to. The league table is the league table, whatever. But it's just another game. It's 45 minutes in the first half and it's 45 minutes in the second half. Nothing changes. So if you turn up and do the right things, more times than not, you'll come out with the right result.